imagine an atmosphere like Ravel La Valse with zombies. When I was a child, my mum, when I was practicing, she would say, imagine the composer sitting in the corner of the room and listening. And now the composer really is in the great hall in the Concertgebouw. It gives a very special dimension. And just having the insight, being able to ask him, it just is a huge privilege.
When I'm practicing, I always question myself, what composer imagined? I think many of musicians are able to reproduce what is written in the music, but this is not the music yet. The music is when you realize the idea of composer behind the notes. So that was really a privilege to work on the music directly with the creator of the music, and I wish I could have this experience more often also with the dead composers. The idea about this concerto is to speak about 3 moments of the day. It is really very well written for the oboe, and it has a lot of dialogues with musicians from the orchestra, and the orchestration is really very precise. You hear a lot of layers, you hear a lot of harmonies, a lot of multiple tonalities which develop in different directions and then they meet again. It's really spectacular.
Danse concertante is Guillaume Connesson's second concerto for flute, and unusually it's actually in 7 short movements. So there are 4 rather fast movements, and then in between, the second movement is a beautiful slow movement with seductive, sensual chords, and then the 4th movement is a variation of this second movement, as is the 6th movement. So there are 4 fast movements and then in between 3 slow movements, which are actually a theme and 2 variations. And the central movement is, he names it Tango Macabre, which is maybe my favorite movement. It starts with a very poised tango feeling, and it becomes more and more frenzied until the flute is screaming almost at the end, and then it completely disintegrates. When I first got the music, I thought, well, I don't know if that's even humanly possible on a flute. Because I was the first person playing the piece, it was a voyage of discovery, and that took a lot longer than with other works. How he writes for the wind instruments, I knew it was going to be a wonderful piece, but I didn't know how wonderful.